Hey guys, today I'm showing you guys how to use DaVinci Resolve, just the general basics how to do it. And as soon as you open up the program, you get asked to be on this screen. This screen is basically where you just make your new project. Basically, you can put it on your local disk, you can put it on the network, you can put it on the cloud if you're part of the Blackmagic cloud. These are your projects if you have any projects running, and you can export and import like certain timelines and video formats into here as well, but we're just going to go with open a new project, and you will be next greeted with, oh, it's not picking up, but so let me just change the source of it. So you'll be greeted with this screen as soon as you make a new project. What you need to know about this is there's a lot of things that the AI wise, the UI wise, where you have the typical file, edit, trim, all your settings up here. Some other settings for that particular workspace, and all your editing software in the middle. And in these bottom 7 little buttons over here, these are your workspaces that you can go into. This one, number 1, is your clip media, so you can just import your clips into here. These are for grander, bigger projects. If you just want, to quickly edit, trim, and edit something down, and here is really, really good. They call it the cut, so it's for like really quick cuts. This is your edit tab, which will allow you to, looks really similar to Premiere Pro in the sense that it's mainly for all general purpose editing. The next tab is your Fusion tab, which is akin to After Effects, however use a node-based system instead of a layer-based system, which is more popular and more forgiving in big film house studio wise, and is easily editable. The next tab is what DaVinci Resolve is known for, which is the color grading tab. This color tab allows you to do insane amounts of color grading, even in the free and the paid version. The next tab is the Fairlight one, which is basically to fine tune your audio edits over here. And your last tab is to export, and you have loads of export codecs that you can go into. But in general, if you want to just edit quickly, you'll want to go into go to this edit tab, and this will just be able to allow you to do everything that you would do in Premiere Pro, and you can slowly work your way around using all the other workspaces. Before we import any footage in, you'll want to go to this little cog symbols down here and change this to this will be your timeline resolution, so whatever you're previewing in over here. You'll want it to be whatever you want to preview in, preferably a little bit lower or the same as what you're filming on, that you filmed on, typically 1920 by 1080 or 4K. I would just leave it as 4K. Timeline frame rate is what your frame rate is. For animation, it'll be 24 or 25. Sometimes 30 if you are doing 3D, but that is not usually the case. And lastly, your video monitoring, just leave that as 24. And down here, your proxy media format, DNX HR HQX is really OP, which means you'll be seeing like the most insane detail, and will only be seeing these. You'll only see the difference in this format once you're using like really strong cameras, like the Blackmagic cameras or the Red cameras. So I would set it to H.264 if you're running on a slower PC. If you're on Apple, it will be like Apple ProRes or something like that down here. So instead, you'll probably want to go to H.264 as well. But I'm just going to leave it as DNX HR. This is just dependent on how much you want to, how much quality you want your timeline to take up, basically. And if you're not running a strong camera or that can support the detail, then I wouldn't recommend it anyway. So yeah, those are the settings that you might want to change. So the next thing we want to know how to do is to import videos in, and if your media pool doesn't show up on the top left over here, you can press this button and this will be your media pool. And there's two options for this. You can drag straight into the timeline or drag straight into the media pool. I am just gonna go find something to drag in, so maybe the video that I was just working on today, which will be over here. I'll just drag this one in, and you might encounter change project frame rate. So maybe you record it into a different frame rate to your timeline frame rate. You can just decide to change it or don't change it. It's up to you. Depends what you want out of it. But if you want a lower frame rate or a higher frame rate, depends on your project. In this situation, I will press change frame rate. I'm not even sure you can see this actually. Let me just change my view just to be able to show you guys what it exactly looks like. So this is what the the window looks like. I'm just going to press change right here because I want to change it, and I'm going to drag the other one in because I'm guessing that you did not see that one. But yeah, that's how you would import your footage. It's just a few things to get your head around. Is basically if you double click, I'm already selected on this. This will bring up the clip onto the right side here. This will allow you to preview. This will preview your timeline. I mean your media pool thing that you're viewing, and over here to the right side is the one that's on your timeline. So I want this video to be first. As you can see, it's already starting to show up and loading in and generating a timeline. And yeah, the video color is blue. You can, and the audio format is green. You can zoom in over here. You can also spread out the audio clips so you can see what you're recording, what didn't record, such as this audio file has nothing on it, but this one does, and this is how you drag and drop and manipulate. You can also scroll around left and right over here as well, spaces to play and stuff like that. So a few ways to start editing right now. I recommend having this link clipped button on. It's Control-Shift-L for the hotkey. What this does allows you to move it together. If I don't have this together and deselect, it won't move together. And also if I were to edit this, to edit it down or trim it down, like hovering over the ends of the clips, it only do one side, whereas if I have it linked, it will also not do it, but that's because I was already pre-selected before that. So if I select it now, it will select both things and I can edit it like that. And that brings me on to how to edit your clips. So there is a way where there is a world where you can do this to edit the trim the ends off. However, you can also go into detail. For example, I can put my playhead over here and use this one. This is the trim tool or blade mode. This hotkey for that is B. And if I have snapping on, I can snap to where the playhead is, and that was trim, and I can press and select using the select tool, which is A, and that will allow me to move it. I can multi-track it on top of each other, and just your general editing technique. I can press delete. I can press backspace delete. So what that del does, DEL, it moves the clip backwards. So I recommend just using backspace to delete if you are going to delete clips. But usually for the trims of the ends, I would usually just so what the del does, which moves the frames back towards itself, it's is really helpful if you're like got a shot already and you're editing in between. For example, if I were to delete, if I were to cut over here and select it and press del, it will move it towards each other. However, if I were to press backspace, it will just leave the gaps. So this could affect your clip if you have multiple tracks on top of each other, because that will delete what's over on top of it as well. So be careful with that, and remember Control-Z and Control-Shift-Z is to undo and redo. If you ever want more precise control, I recommend unchecking the snapping tool, and this will allow you to get fine tune your edit. So I'm just going to go over here, for example. I will turn the editing on here and trim the ends of this, because that's where it looks like the audio actually begins. And I will push this to the beginning of the timeline, and at the end I will also just let's just hear it and trim it at the end as well. If you have two clips on, I think this one's the next clip, you can, let me just delete a little bit and drag this one a little bit forwards. If I zoom in and go in between, when the cursor changes into like two square brackets that are opposite ends, I can hover over in between and make it go further to the left or further to the right. This will allow you, as you can see where the white boxes are, that's the original clip size, and you can smoothly edit and bring those back really easily as well. But I don't want that, so I would just bring it like this, and I can edit like so to bring that across, or even yeah, I would just do that to bring this across so it starts correctly, and I will do that for the ends of the video too. Importing audio will be exactly the same. As you can see, this one's really difficult to get, so I just press N for magnet, and turn off the magnet because the playhead was really close. And if I were to get some music, for example, I can just bring in, for example, this one and drag and drop it straight into the timeline, and that will play some music. Cool. And that's it. And see if it fits in with whatever you're making. This one will probably not fit in, so I'll just delete it. To adjust audio sounds, you can go on to zoom into the video a little bit with Alt and middle mouse, zoom in and out, or just use this. But yeah, as you can see, if I bring up the metering, it'll be under this one, mixer. We want our master to be on around just above -10, but as you can see, it's really low. So we want to boost that one up to maybe like 8. Custom brushes in Photoshop. And that looks about correct, right? With a bit of spikes around here and there. But the best way to fix that would be to go into this. Actually, I'm just going to quickly delete this this extra layer that has like the desktop sounds that I recorded in the previous tutorial by unlinking and then pressing this and press delete. Backspace, and pressing backspace here just to get more room, because it was unnecessary. And I can go click on this button at the bottom right, which allow me to keyframe my audio. So for example, a good audio noise would be let's see, what would be, so generally speaking, this is fine, and then maybe let's just say this bit's a bit too loud. So for example, I would put a keyframe there, and maybe keyframe over here, and then I would put 2 more in between and drop this. And as you can see, I can drop just that little bit of audio, so this bit's not as peaking, how it looks, and be more consistent. If you want to fade it in on the sides of these audio panels, same with the videos, you can fade in the video like so, and I can fade in the audio like so here. And if I want a certain fall off, there's another circle, white circle that appears here, and you can make it curved that way, or have it fit like it ramps up, or it like quickly ramps up and then quickly fades into place. So that just helps with the sound editing. To add some titles and text, we need to go to this effects tab, and these will be in, and you can find all your video like crossovers and stuff with it, such as your cross dissolve. You just need to drag it in, and that will cross dissolve. Or does it work? Maybe this one won't work. Let's just see if it will if it's cross dissolving. As you can see, yeah, you just have to zoom in and it just cross dissolves. So I'm gonna put it in. As you can see, it dissolves like so. Really cool. I bet this video is gonna look when you guys watch this tutorial, it's gonna be really weird. But on the titles, we can go and find the correct title for us. So for example, clean and simple, if we scrub along it, this is how it will look like. Let's just put that in just for science. I'm going to put that at the beginning, and I'm going to go into and drag that straight on top, as this will this will show us the clip. Like you can see, it's showing up like that. So how to edit that is you need to go onto the inspector tab and say, for example, Photoshop custom brushes, or maybe everything you need to know about Photoshop custom brushes, to hit some keywords. Let's see what that looks like now.
Hey guys, today.
Oh, oops. Oops, I think I put it in the wrong one. Maybe it's this one. There we go.
Today.
Oh god, it's too much. Maybe it's too much text, so maybe like this. Split it up. There we go. Maybe that will.
Hey guys, in today's tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make
nice,
brushes,
and that's how you add text. And also, don't forget, you can always go into these and edit the font, the size, the color, whatever you may need. Moving on, there's a few more tabs, such as the Fusion tab. If you want, this is a bit more advanced, so it's basically similar to After Effects, but it uses nodes instead of layers. If you want me to go through a little bit of this, let me know, and to make some simple effects and stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah, I would strongly recommend sticking to After Effects, as this is like a whole different ball game for a different kind of production. It's more for film production and loads big film production basically, but we can still do some cool stuff. And also, this is locked, some of the features are locked behind the paywall in the premium version of DaVinci. This color tab is the one that you'll probably use more of. I recommend using the color tabs to the temperature, to change the temperature, and also just do some general editing basically with the temperature, if you would like. We'll go into more of this in the next tutorial, and this is the Fairlight to get through all. You can it's lots of features are locked behind the premium here, but you can do some really basic like frequency EQing, stuff like that, with this audio tab here. And lastly, we have the rendering tab, which is probably the most important. This can be super confusing, because I am going to render this. I will just render it and show you guys. So over here we have a custom import. You can choose fully customize all of your settings, but if you want to do a quick dirty export, I usually just hit this. It also gives it just like makes users less of it like closes down a lot of settings compared to the custom export, which does help because it just gives you so much options, and you really don't need that many options. So all you need to do is go to this one, select your 1080p, if it's 30 frames or not, your name, everything you need to know Photoshop custom brushes. Find a location, use browse. I'm going to save it to my upload queue. Scroll up, upload queue. There we go. And then MP4 is the right format. You can do QuickTime. H.264 is a thing. Audio settings, and that seems okay. If you do want to go for a custom export, you can do something similar, but you get more of these options like you can save it as a QuickTime, not an image sequence or a QuickTime, and you get many more options like DNX HD, Apple ProRes, stuff like that. But I'm just going to stick to this one as it's good. And then we have to add it to the render queue first. And then after it's in the render queue, we can queue up a lot of things here actually, which is really nice because you can just leave it overnight and have all your projects just rendering. And then all you have to do is press render all and you're done. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Let me just see if that, just make sure it's over entire timeline. You can also put your own in out frame rates like so, like you can extend these little black dots in and out, but I want the whole thing, so yeah, that should be good. And render all.